The medical droid said the words like they were final. She has lost the will to live. But Obi-Wan Kenobi did not believe in coincidence anymore. Not after the Jedi fell. Not after Anakin became Vader. He watched Padme's chest rise, shallow but steady, and he felt it in the Force, faint, stubborn life clinging on. Bail Organa leaned close. If she lives, she becomes a target. Obi-Wan nodded. And the children become a prize. Padme's eyes opened. She looked older than her years, like grief had rewritten her face. Her lips barely moved. Where are they? In safety, Obi-Wan said, but only if you disappear. Padme swallowed pain and understood at once. The Empire was being born in real time. The Senate would cheer. The Holonet would repeat whatever Palpatine said. And Vader Anakin would hunt anything that reminded him of who he used to be. Padme tried to sit up. I can't run. You can, Bail said. Because you must. They worked fast. The medical team was loyal to Padme, not the New Order. A falsified death certificate was issued. A sealed body pod was prepared, weighted, coded, and untraceable. A funeral transmission was drafted for Naboo, complete with mourning banners and soft music. The galaxy would see tears, not questions. On Coruscant, Palpatine announced the first Imperial security measures. New patrols, new checkpoints, new laws that turned fear into permission. The net tightened around every former ally of the Jedi. Obi-Wan stood beside Padme's bedside and spoke plainly. Vader will feel you if you stay near the core. You know him. He will not stop. Padme's eyes filled, but her voice stayed sharp. Then I won't be near anything, not even my own name. A small ship, unmarked, civilian, forgettable, lifted from Polis Massa under a medical clearance code. Padme lay under a hooded cloak, face hidden, pulse monitored. Bail sat across from her, calm on the outside, calculating on the inside. Mid-jump, Padme reached for Obi-Wan's hand. Obi-Wan gently pulled away.
Not yet. Not ever. If we want the twins to live.
The ship dropped out of hyperspace over empty stars, far from main lanes. A new transponder activated. A new identity loaded. Padme stared at the blank data card, then whispered, "So this is how it ends." Bail's voice was quiet. "No, this is how you survive." Behind them, unseen, an Imperial probe droid slid into the same sector, searching for one last heartbeat it could report to Vader. Padme felt a chill crawl up her spine, like someone was looking straight at her through the dark. Then the ship's alert light blinked red, and the pilot said the words no one wanted to hear. Unknown contact, closing fast. The unknown contact stayed on their tail for 7 long minutes. 7 minutes of alarms, whispered orders, and stars stretching like knives as the pilot pushed the engines too hard. Bail didn't panic. He calculated. "Cut power to non-essentials," he said. "Dump the medical clearance codes. Change the transponder again." Padme lay strapped into the narrow bunk, fighting nausea and fear. She could feel the ship shudder as it rolled. Somewhere outside, something cold and mechanical kept matching their moves. Then the contact pinged them. A clean Imperial handshake request. Polite, official, deadly. The pilot's hands hovered over the console. If we ignore it, they'll mark us. If we answer, Bail said. And we lie. He stepped into the cockpit, posture perfect, voice steady. On screen, a gray-faced customs officer appeared, flanked by stormtroopers. "Identify your vessel," the officer demanded. Bail smiled, like a tired senator on a boring route.
"Medical transport. Refugee transfer from Polis Massa. We're low on supplies and trying not to kill our patient."
The officer's eyes narrowed. "Transmit your authorization." Bail did. A forged code, Old Republic formatting. Just enough truth to pass. For a moment, it hung in the air like a gamble. Padme listened from the bunk. Breath shallow. She pictured Vader's mask. She pictured his hands. She pictured those hands reaching for her children. The officer's screen flickered. Stand by for scan. Bale's tone stayed calm. Of course. The ship's panels hummed as the scan began, crawling through cargo, fuel, life signs. Padme squeezed her eyes shut and forced her breathing slower, smaller, quieter. Bale leaned toward the pilot and spoke without moving his lips. On my mark, vent the auxiliary tank. The scan reached the medical bay. Padme felt the cold sweep of it, like a light passing through her bones. The droid's earlier lie, lost the will to live, mocked her now. She had never wanted to live more. Mark, Bale said softly. The pilot vented the tank. A cloud of ionized fuel bloomed behind them like a wounded star. The Imperial craft swerved, sensors flooding with false readings. Scan disrupted, the officer snapped. Bale spread his hands. We warned you. Our systems were unstable. The Imperial screen cut out. The contact fell back, recalibrating. Stars snapped into lines. Only then did Padme allow herself to breathe. In the quiet, Bale entered the medical bay. Padme sat up, eyes wet, face hard. I want to send a message, she said. To Naboo, to my family. Bale shook his head. One message becomes a trail. Padme's voice broke. And Anakin? Obi-Wan's warning echoed between them. Not yet. Not ever. Bale knelt beside her. If Vader learns you live, he will tear planets apart to prove it. Padme stared at the floor for a long time. Then she nodded once. No messages, she whispered. No name. And in that moment, Padmé Amidala buried herself alive so her children could live in the light. The ship dropped out of hyperspace near a quiet, forgotten moon, and Bale's datapad lit up with a single chilling alert. Imperial Inquisitorius Query Senator Amidala status uncertain. Padme learned the first rule of survival under the Empire. Never be seen twice in the same place. Bail Organa brought her to a quiet, gray world with no famous sunsets and no headlines. The kind of place the Empire ignored because it looked too small to matter. She wore plain clothes, cut her hair shorter, and practiced a new signature until her old name felt like a story about someone else. On paper, she became Sola Vane, a shipping auditor. No noble titles, no Naboo records, no Senate speeches. Just numbers, cargo weights, and routine inspections. But Padme had lived in the Senate long enough to know that empires didn't run on fear alone. They ran on paperwork. Imperial contracts, fleet schedules, emergency appropriations, prison transfers signed under security authority. Those were the veins of the new regime, and Padme knew how to read them. At night, she worked in a rented room above a repair shop, a small desk pressed against the wall. She didn't use a personal terminal. She used dead drops, public kiosks, droid repair ports, anything that could be touched for seconds and forgotten. Bale's network gave her contacts with no names. A Duros slicer who only spoke in timestamps. A Twi'lek courier who never removed her helmet. A former Senate aide who shook so badly he could barely hold a datapad. They weren't a rebellion yet. They were scattered sparks. Padme became the wind. She traced troop movements hidden inside anti-piracy patrols. She flagged new detention centers labeled as labor facilities. She marked which senators voted for temporary measures and which ones looked away when their piracy sent aflows. Neighbors disappeared. Then she started sending warnings. One message saved a family on Ryloth from an early relocation. Another redirected a stolen shipment of rations to refugees hiding in sewer tunnels on Brental. A third exposed the route of a prisoner transport before it reached an Imperial black site. Each success built trust. Each success also built a pattern.
An Imperial analyst on Coruscant noticed at first small losses, clean hits, impossible timing. He didn't know Padme lived. He only knew someone with Senate knowledge was leaking the Empire's bones.
The Empire responded the only way it knew how. It tightened the net. New checkpoints, random audits, more stormtroopers in civilian ports, informant rewards posted on every holonet feed. People started turning on neighbors just to be safe.
Padme watched it happen and felt sick. But she didn't stop. She couldn't. Not with two children hidden somewhere in the galaxy, growing up under the shadow of Vader.
Bail called her on a scrambled line, voice low.
"They're hunting the source."
Quote. Padme stared at her data cards, hands steady.
"Then I'll give them something else to chase." She cued one last transmission bigger than the others, loaded with names, routes, and proof. And as she hit send, the power in her room cut out. The lights died and boots stopped outside her door.
Padme reached for the small blaster under the desk, knowing one truth now. The Empire hadn't forgotten her. It had finally found her. Padme did not sleep. Not after the red blade.
Not after the words, "Transfer to Lord Vader." Bail moved her twice in one night through service tunnels, across rooftops, into a cargo skiff that smelled like fuel and rust.
By dawn, they hid inside an abandoned comm station outside the city grid. Wind howled through cracked panels. The place was dead to the Empire, which meant it was dead to help.
Bail paced. "If the Inquisitors saw your face, they'll trace every contact."
Padme's voice stayed low.
"Then we cut the contacts."
"We already did," Bail said. "That's the problem." Padme stared at the dusty transmitter. She had promised silence. No names, no messages. But silence was a luxury, and Vader had turned it into a weapon. "We need Kenobi," she said. Bail froze.
"Obi-Wan is a myth now. If you light that signal, you might as well fire a flare."
Padme stepped closer to the transmitter anyway. Her hands shook, but her eyes were clear.
"If Vader is hunting me, I need the one man who knows how he thinks."
Bail's jaw tightened. "And if Kenobi answers, you risk exposing the children." Padme swallowed hard. "I'm already exposing them by breathing." She keyed the old power cell. The console flickered, then steadied. She didn't use her old codes. She used a phrase only one person would recognize. Words said long ago on Naboo, in a quiet garden, when the war still felt far away. The transmitter sent it out in a thin, narrow beam, jumping relay to relay like a whisper through a crowd. Minutes passed. Then the speaker hissed. A voice came through, rougher than she remembered. "Who is this?" Padme's throat tightened. "Obi-Wan, it's me." Silence. Then a single, careful breath. "Padme." Her eyes burned. "I'm alive. They're coming. I need to know where to go." Obi-Wan's tone turned hard.
"You should not have contacted me."
"I had no choice," she snapped. "Anakin is gone. You told me he was gone." Another pause, heavier now. "From a certain point of view," Obi-Wan said, quiet like a confession. "He is." Padme felt her stomach drop.
"What does that mean?"
Obi-Wan exhaled, and when he spoke again, every word sounded like it hurt. "Anakin survived Mustafar. Palpatine rebuilt him. He is Darth Vader." Padme couldn't breathe. The room tilted. Her fingers gripped the console until they ached. "No," she whispered. "No, that's not possible." "It is," Obi-Wan said. "And if he senses you, he will stop at nothing." Padme pictured the red blade again. She pictured the mechanical voice. Suddenly, she understood why it felt personal. Bail leaned in, face pale. What did he say?
Padme's lips parted, but no sound came out. Then, far outside the station, a distant engine whine grew louder, steady, searching. The comm speaker crackled one last time. Obi-Wan's voice sharpened. "Padme, they're triangulating you. Get out, now!" Padme backed away from the transmitter and heard the sky split with incoming ships. Then, a new sound joined the engines, deep and familiar through the Force. Vader's breathing, closing in. The first ship screamed over the comm station like a blade. The windows shook. Dust rained from the ceiling in thin streams. Bail grabbed Padme's arm and pulled her toward the rear exit. "When you day, the comm station. Dust day. When you day a day. When you day a day a. When you day a day. When you day a. When you day a day a. When you day." "Move," he said. No debate. Outside, the ground was open and flat, broken only by dead antennas and old relay towers. There was nowhere to hide, only places to run. A second ship dropped lower, its spotlight sweeping. Stormtroopers fast roped down in quick pairs, boots hitting dirt with practiced rhythm. Their blasters came up, already aimed where they expected fear to go. Padme's chest tightened. She could almost hear Vader's breathing in the distance, like the air itself had learned his name. Bail shoved a small data spike into her palm. "If we die, this goes to Alderaan. Don't lose it." Padme closed her fingers around it. "We're not dying." They sprinted for an old service trench. Blaster fire snapped overhead, carving sparks from metal. Bail fired back with a compact pistol, not to win, just to force them to pause. Padme slid into the trench and hit her shoulder hard. Pain flared, sharp and bright. She bit it down and kept moving. At the trench's end, a sealed hatch blocked the way. Bail cursed under his breath and yanked at the lock. Too slow. A squad rounded the corner, rifles steady. Their leader called out, "Senator Amidala! On your knees!" Padme froze at the name. They weren't guessing anymore. They were confirming. Bail raised his weapon. Padme stopped him with a look. One wrong move, and the Empire would take them alive. Then Padme did the last thing anyone expected. She stepped forward, hands up, and spoke like a senator in session. "You want me? Fine. But you will not fire in a civilian zone without cause. State your charge. On record." The troopers hesitated just long enough for the old senator's authority to slip under their armor. Bail used that second. He slammed the hatch with a tool spike. The lock popped. Padme dropped, rolled, and grabbed her blaster from the ground. 2 shots, fast, clean, hit the troopers' weapon stocks, sending rifles spinning away. A third shot hit a fuel cell on a nearby power pack. The explosion wasn't huge, but it was loud. It filled the trench with smoke and noise and confusion. Padme and Bail fell through the hatch into darkness, landing in a maintenance tunnel that smelled like wet stone. Behind them, troopers shouted and fired blindly, bolts lighting the tunnel mouth. They ran until their lungs burned. Finally, they reached an old drainage port opening to the far side of the ridge. Outside, their speeder waited, hidden under a tarp, exactly where Bail had planned. They launched into the sky as sirens rose behind them. Padme looked back once and saw stormtroopers lifting a holocam drone from the wreckage, its red light blinking. Evidence. Proof. A recording of her voice, her face, her survival ready to be delivered straight to Vader.